Hello, Earth signs, and welcome to the Cyber Hermit. This reading is for Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn for March 2021. These are general messages. If you find that they resonate, please leave a comment or a like. It will help me to grow this channel and put out more videos. So Earth signs, I feel like you've been pouring out some excess emotions this month. And what I mean by that is what you've been feeling on the inside, I think, is really being expressed outwardly right now. And this maybe has been sort of overwhelming for you. The Ace of Cups can be an offer of emotion, or it can be emotional abundance. But this time I'm more drawn to the pool of water in this card. And it's like a flooding sort of sensation. There's too much of it. So it's overflowing, but not necessarily in the most positive way. So maybe you have a buildup of emotion that you feel needs expressing if you haven't done so. Or you're not sure what to do with this excess of energy or where to direct it. I see you sort of dwelling or contemplating on the negatives of this. You're looking towards what's been spilled as opposed to what is standing. You've turned your back on the positives of this situation and are looking towards what you've knocked over or feel like you've knocked over, if that makes sense. I actually want to go back to the Ace of Cups card because I find it interesting that I'm being attracted to the specific imagery in this reading, or in this card, I mean. The dove and what I thought to be the Eucharist. When I looked it up, it seems to be that is the symbology here in the Rider-Waite tarot. I think this is a spiritual nourishment and purity coming through to you. And what that could mean for you is maybe a spiritual type of clarity or message from the universe that at this time, I think it stirred up some emotions in you this month. It could be that you've gained some sense of clarity on a situation or about yourself that has caused some flooding. I wanted to say that because in psychological practice, the act of flooding is a particular method of treatment for phobias. So the person is literally submerged in their fear until a desensitization occurs and they are no longer afraid of that particular thing. So this might be a very cleansing time for you, earth signs, even though it could feel even sort of scary right now or causing you anxiety. The judgment at the end of this row, I think, is saying that this is a signal or a type of signaling that needs to occur in order for you to move into your next phase or cycle. But you're not quite there yet, and the transition is difficult. Transitions are difficult. And in this case, it could be difficult because this is tied into an intimate or romantic relationship for you. The Five of Cups is tied into a lot of past pain that has not yet cleared for you. And I also just realized, earth signs, that when I originally did this reading, these two cards were in each other's positions. But when I flipped them over for the camera, I actually put them in the opposite way. So we're going to go with that. So the Five of Cups is tied into a lot of past pain that you might not have cleared. The Two of Cups left standing, I feel like, is you holding on to some sort of idealization or romanticization. The Three of Swords is usually a sort of over and done with card. So in the original positions, I would say that you choose to move away from this, or the decision is made for you. And it could be that whatever cups are left standing, so to speak, is the loss that you feel overburdened by because you chose not to continue with this situation. Because of their positions now that I'm recording this, I'm going to take that into a different sort of effect, whereby you might actually still hold on to that idealization. instead of completely moving on from it. A decision might be made for you or by you. However, I see a lingering sort of feeling. Over the situation and its ending. This could mean that it might take some time for you to totally let go of this despite already having letting go of it. I hope that makes sense, Earth signs. Because I sort of had to be more candid in that reading, considering that the cards were flipped. So you may try and find some relief in acceptance from others. You could come out of this really wanting to have your point of view known, or for people to know your pain. And I would be not careful, but aware, cautious maybe, I guess. Careful might be the word for it. I would be cautious of doing this in a way where it makes you over emotional. And I don't mean that in a way where your being over emotional is invalid or wrong in some regard. It's more that you might choose emotion over communication or logic, and you could end up regretting that later. So where possible that you need to express something, do so with a cool head, and I think it would benefit you to remain objective where it's possible. But I see this maybe being difficult for you. You could be more concerned with being heard, but you have to make sure that the recipients are listening and not just hearing. And what I said before, the Eucharist is a spiritual message. Judgment usually means that there is a need for some type of absolution. You are in need of having to move on to a new chapter. Something is calling you to a higher vibration than you are at right now. Judgment shows up at significant stages. And getting there is often difficult. If you are unable to read this message that's coming through for you, you need to look into your past pain and remember what you've learned up until this point. So coming out of this situation, I see you turning your energy towards your work or craftsmanship or endeavors that have you working with others on projects and practicing your skills. I think coming out of this month will be a major leveling up for you, Earth signs. I think these last cards, the Magician, the King of Cups, and the Empress, are likely all strong traits that you possess that will have a chance to come to the spotlight once you've worked through some type of lesson here. And I think that part of that learning or lesson is not keeping inventories on yourself or on others or on situations that no longer serve you. The spring equinox is upon us, and that is a great time for new beginnings and shedding old skins. I feel like you'll be able to combine your talents and manifest a lot of things for yourself in this post-judgment era. You will be less uncomfortable with your own emotions, and this will help you to feel like you're nurturing yourself in a healthier way. I think this is extremely important for you because you're probably in need of this. The Magician and the King of Cups together is kind of an emotional balance. You could end out the month feeling more leveled out emotionally. There's definitely a lighter energy towards these final cards than at the beginning. So if you're in a period of stress right now, it won't last too much longer. And ending with the Empress, I feel like you will be more in tune with yourself and your needs and your body. So the focus of your priority, I see, is shifting onto you. And you will find ways to comfort yourself that are healthy and inwardly focused in a positive way. So Earth signs, I pulled some Lenormand cards for you. These are usually quick and more specifically tailored messages. So you got the Ring, the Road, the Woman, the Fox, the House, and the Ship. So Earth signs, I see you making a choice about which way to go with a connection. You could have been contemplating this before or been unsure of how to proceed within a connection. And there's a lot of hesitation or overthinking in regards to this. And I want to say that applying the most direct or obvious route here could ultimately be the best decision for you, like whatever makes the most sense. I feel like overcomplicating a situation or a road will likely end up in you feeling lost. I feel like the woman energy in this reading is you. And it carries a very ambivalent or tolerant aura. It could even mean that you've been putting on two faces, so to speak. Like not being completely truthful with yourself or with others. The fox also portrays someone who is overly defensive. You could be very fickle at this time or even uncertain about your integrity within a situation. If you don't feel like this is you, it could be someone you're dealing with, someone with egocentric or fox-like traits with a strong self-interest. You might have some anxiety around dealing with a home situation this month. Things might seem different or unfamiliar to you, which can cause you some anxiety. It could also be you just wanting to move out of this energy of anxiousness or cautiousness, and move back into something more familiar and safe, where you feel a sense of security, there's lower risk, there's more establishment for yourself. Whatever the situation is right now that's causing you conflict, I see you moving away from that. It could even be physically moving away from it. The ship card is usually physical movement and also far away movement. But it could also be metaphorical in the sense of decision making and deciding to go towards a different path. All right, Earth signs, that has been your reading for March. If you like this reading, please subscribe. Thank you.